So, what exactly is the problem with talented? Hi, I'm a music teacher, and this is my life. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you some of my thoughts on what I see as some problems with the word talented or talent. Now, inherently, these are not bad words, but if we're not careful and considerate about how we use these words, I think they can have a negative impact on our musicians and our students. Before we jump into the video, remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to ring the notification bell so that you never miss another video. So what exactly is the talented problem? Let's take a look at this from two different perspectives. So perspective number one is from the perspective of you being the person receiving this compliment. So if someone gave you the compliment, "Oh my gosh, your performance was so great, that you are so talented." As someone who's received this compliment before, while I know the person who has given me the compliment has good intentions, I have often found one of two things happening. One is the negative self-talk in the back of my mind. So as someone who went through private music lessons growing up and university music programs, I am someone who has constantly been surrounded by people who will tell me what I need to do to improve. And the result of that is sometimes not feeling good enough. And so you have that complex of, oh my gosh, I can always be better. No performance is perfect. I can always improve. And so sometimes receiving this compliment of "you're so talented" invokes that negative self-talk in the back of your mind of, oh, but I played some wrong notes on this page. I forgot to breathe in this certain place and that affected this passage. And most of the time, the audience doesn't know exactly what's written on the page, unless they are also someone who plays your instrument or they've performed that piece or song before. But sometimes that negative self-talk comes out, and it's really hard to not say that in front of the person who gave you the compliment, and you don't want them to feel bad for complimenting you, because then in the future, they won't. But at the same time, sometimes that negative self-talk creeps in. Other times, you may have something that comes over you where you feel like it's dismissive of all of the hard work you put in. So someone might say, "Oh, you're so talented." And you're thinking to yourself, wait, but I worked really hard on that piece. Where's the credit and where's the recognition for that? Why am I not appreciated for that? Again, the person has good intentions with giving you the compliment, but they may not realize that it's coming across as a slight against your hard work. So keep in mind that while they have good intentions, you sort of have to keep that part inwards and just say thank you for the compliment. Now, when I was a young flute player in university, I was really excited to get into school. I auditioned and I got in for flute. And I remember the first piece of music that my flute teacher gave me that she wanted me to learn, and it had sharps in it. And all of my band music growing up in high school had flats in it. So it was really hard for me to practice and learn pieces that had key signatures with sharps in it. And I remember my flute teacher saying, "Wow, you had a really hard time with this." And when I was sight reading it in a lesson, she was very honest with that. And I said, "Yeah, I really don't have a lot of experience playing pieces with sharps." So it took hours and hours of feedback and lessons, hard work, time practicing by myself with a metronome. And if you haven't seen my video about how to enhance your practice sessions with a metronome, I'll leave a card up above as well as a link in the description below. But it took a lot of hard work to reach that goal. And so I don't want that hard work to be dismissed. I think it's important that we don't lean too much in the talent or the hard work camp, because I've heard that argument both ways, that talent is more important than hard work and hard work is nothing without talent. I've also heard that if you don't have talent in something, that's okay because hard work can often overcome that. It's important that we recognize that it's a give and take and that both talent and hard work go hand in hand. Because, for example, if I look at myself, I know that I have more of a knack or natural ability for learning songs quickly, picking up different musical instruments. I have a more natural ability with that kind of skill set than, for example, learning languages. Learning languages often takes me longer. It's a lot more challenging for me, and I can get there, but it'll take me much more time than, say, a friend of mine who grew up bilingual and she has a better knack or natural ability for picking up multiple different languages. So just keep in mind that the person usually has good intentions, but that can be something that's problematic when someone receives the compliment of, "You're so talented." The second perspective here is if you see someone else receive this compliment, either because you are giving the compliment to someone or you see someone receiving the compliment by someone else. Now, one of two things can happen. Either the person doesn't know how to take the compliment because they're uncomfortable with that negative self-talk that we just discussed, or I've also seen it happen where someone's ego gets overinflated. And again, to bring up an example from university, I remember talking to someone who was in his second year of university when I was in my first year university. And he talked about the city that he was from. I grew up there. And he was talking about, oh, well, I went to the arts high school. So, you have to audition to get in and blah, blah, blah. And I don't really know what his intentions were, but by him just talking about how great his high school experience was and how, oh, you have to get in by auditioning. And so I was one of the few who got in and now I'm here. It really, whether or not he meant it, made me feel a lot more inferior. And I'm thinking to myself, well, we both got into the same university program. The difference obviously is that I'm a flute player and he is a vocalist. But still, we both auditioned, we both worked really hard to get here, and it really doesn't look good when you have an overinflated ego, because we want confidence in our skill set to not cross into the territory of feeling conceited or cocky. It's a fine line and you do not want to cross it. Also, the thing that I noticed once as well is a friend of mine actually responded to this open casting call and audition process for a TV show. This was easily like 10, 15 years ago. And it was a TV show where people could record their audition video and either submit it through the website or upload it to YouTube and then send a link. And I will never forget my friend's video. While he had good intentions, he did some singing, he did some dancing, and then there was a portion where he had to answer some questions they sent along to him. And his exact words were, "It's okay to be talented." And he said it with a big smile on his face. And I remember the first time watching that video back, it was public on YouTube, I thought, wow, he's full of himself. And he did not get the call to go to that TV show. And to be honest, I'm not surprised because, well, yes, he had strong singing and dancing and acting skills. It was developed through his high school experience in musical theater and through his classes. I can just imagine a casting director looking at that and thinking, if his ego is going to be this big, and we know the current team that we have working on this project, do we want someone with that overinflated ego to enter into the studio, work with our team, and possibly disrupt the current dynamics that are working well? And 9 times out of 10, the answer is probably no, because you don't want other people to have that negative influence around. You don't want the rest of your team to feel inferior. And so sometimes seeing others receive this compliment can either lead to that overinflated ego where they cross that line from confident into cocky or conceited, and then they think they don't have to work as hard when they're older. And then further on, they audition for things, they don't get it, and they're frustrated, but they aren't willing to have any self-growth or have any feedback. If they get feedback, it's really hard to hear it. Those are the two perspectives that I have on this topic, and that's it for this video. Let me know in the comments if you've either seen or experienced this talented compliment go wrong, and also let me know in the comments what else you'd like to see on this channel. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and I know that last week on Instagram, I had a goal of 100 subscribers, but instead, I'm going to dream big and set a subscriber goal of 1,000. So please subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so that you stay up to date on all of the upcoming content, and I will see you right back.